10 things that you won't believe existed in Ultimate Team. The 7th one on this list is really hard to believe that it used to be in the game. First is chemistry links. Starting in FIFA 09, which was when we had the first ever Ultimate Team, all the way up until FIFA 22, we had chemistry links based on the player position on the pitch, so they had to be next to each other in order for them to get chemistry. This was up until FIFA 23, when the entire chemistry system was completely overhauled. It took us quite a while for us to get used to it, but I think everyone now is very comfortable. But back then, it was very simple: red, amber, green, based on the league nationality, and it was quite simple, but I think people are happy with the way that it is now, and it allows us to get a bit more creative with the team building. Number 2 is the EA Sports Football Club catalog. This was in the game from FIFA 13 up until FIFA 19, and it was very useful right at the start of every single new Ultimate Team year, because everyone would go right in, they would redeem their coin boosts. You could also get club items, badges, managers. You would just redeem all of them and then just discard them, and it would give you a nice little start that you can go ahead and start trading right away. You could also get loan cards. There were some things in there, I believe, for career mode. It wasn't really used at any other point than at the start of the game, but of course this has since been removed. It was phased out due to in FIFA 20 getting the new seasonal objectives and the whole new battle pass system objectives, which to be fair is much better, so definitely a good change. Number 3 is seasons and tournaments. Before we had anything like division rivals and squad battles, we had online seasons. This is where you would work your way up. The rewards weren't really anything too good, but it was very competitive. It was matchmaking that was sometimes extremely difficult, and there wasn't actually any possibility to always stay in the league that you were in. There were chances of getting relegated, which is something completely foreign today, because that obviously isn't possible. We first saw this in FIFA 12, and it was all the way in the game up until FIFA 19. We did also have offline tournaments. These were quite nice, but they were removed in FIFA 17. Sometimes we would have coin rewards, pack rewards. It was a fun way of sometimes getting involved and earning some rewards. At number 4, we've got player and team consumables. There were loads of different consumables back in the day which no longer exist, and some of you may not even recognize them. We've got fitness cards. Players lost fitness after every single match, and you had to do an individual fitness card or a squad fitness card, and this would sometimes cost 2,000 coins, 3,000 coins, so it was a bit of a tax which now no longer exists, which is definitely a good thing. We also had squad training cards which would temporarily boost the entire squad's stats. This was something which was a little bit gimmicky. Some people felt it helped, others didn't. These were always expensive, at least 3,000 coins, usually 4 or 5k. That was removed in FIFA 20. Something way back which was removed in FIFA 13 was formation cards. This was very strange. When you wanted to change your formation, you had to make sure that the individual player also was updated to that formation. Very strange. Good thing it was removed all the way back then. None of these consumable cards are missed, and it's a good thing that they don't exist in Ultimate Team today. But when I did a poll across all of my socials, by far everyone agreed with one feature which they missed the most, which we'll cover in just a moment. Number 5 on this list is price ranges. Before FIFA 15, price ranges didn't actually exist, meaning you could buy and sell every player for absolutely any amount. Coin buying was everywhere, and this is pretty much why EA added this in. A lot of people don't really notice, and they don't feel like price ranges make too much of a difference. Sometimes it can be annoying when there's a player that is extinct because of high demand and EA takes a couple of days, maybe even sometime weeks to update it. That can be frustrating, but I think a lot of people actually miss the fact of being able to do wagers with friends. That was something which would be quite fun. You would play against your friend, you would bet 100,000 coins to the winner, and whoever would win would just list up a bronze card, and then the loser would have to buy that for 100,000 coins. Very simple, very easy. That is still possible somewhat if you do it with bronzes, with maybe loads of different cards, but EA will notice that you're doing it. Back then, it was a lot less serious. People didn't really care too much. But of course, EA became much stricter after FIFA 15. Number 6 is daily knockout tournaments. This was the only way of qualifying for Weekend League, and for many people, it was extremely difficult. This existed when FUT Champs was first introduced in FIFA 17, and up until early FIFA 18, you had to win 4 games in a row, getting of course more difficult as you got to the semi-final and final, and there weren't really any retries. You couldn't just, of course, when you're in the semi-final, if you lost, you had to restart the whole process again. It was quite fun because sometimes you'd win a special card or maybe a certain pack when you would win, which made matters worse because people who had already qualified just kept playing again and again when, let's say, the reward refreshed. And there were also sometimes specific requirements like a silver team only or maximum amount of leagues or maximum amount of rating, which spiced things up as well. This was replaced during FIFA 18, where we had FUT Champions qualification points from division rivals. At number 7, we've got trade offers. This is what everyone voted for in a poll I did on X, YouTube, and also on Instagram. Everyone agreed trade offers was the one thing that they missed the most. You could directly offer player exchanges between different people to friends and absolutely anyone. You could also offer coins as well. Sometimes you would get just ridiculous offers and you had to be careful to decline it. You could also counter the offer if you wanted, but sometimes you would get serious offers and it would usually be one very good player for a mix of maybe a few different mid-range players. And I do think it would be quite nice if EA did bring it back, and I did actually make a video where I discussed a serious way that EA could do it without it being abused by coin sellers and other people. With certain restrictions, hopefully, fingers crossed, one day we see it return. At number 8 is Legends being exclusively on Xbox only. Between FIFA 14 and FIFA 17, there weren't any icons. Icons were introduced in FIFA 18 and they were available on all platforms, and Legends were scrapped. But before this, it was genuinely a serious discussion. People were deciding, should they buy an Xbox? Should they be playing FIFA on Xbox? Because of the fact that it had Legends, and this was prior to crossplay and everything like that. So it was a lot of fun and a lot of debates came just from this. At number 9 is the amount of FUT Champions Weekend League games. 40 games in just 48 hours is how it used to be. Few can really comprehend how difficult this was back in the day, literally playing more than double the games in a shorter time span. From FIFA 17 and FIFA 19, it was 40 matches, all crammed into Friday to Sunday. Absolutely brutal. Then it got reduced to 30 games in FIFA 20, revamped again in FIFA 22, and today in EAFC we've only got 15 games in FUT Champions Finals, which is played on the weekend. And at number 10 is silver players being extremely rare and also expensive. This was way back in FIFA 12 and FIFA 13, back when there really weren't too many special cards. There definitely were not promos every single week. It was more of every month, maybe even sometimes less frequent than that. And we had players like Ibabu, Mayuku, Akeche, and these were all FUT legends. Everyone remembers them. High pace, high agility, and they were very sweaty. Silver squads were genuinely considered and they were used back in the day.